GMOs, generically modified organisms. Those are what's in your food. GMOs, the chemicals that are in your food that are causing cancer, diabetes, heart attacks, all types of diseases because it's chemicals. We need to write to our Congress, to food corporations, to people like Oprah Winfrey, who was against the mad cow disease, to bring more attention to GMOs. That's generically modified organisms. They need to be put on your food. They should be stamped on your food, just like how you have smoking is bad for you if you're pregnant on the side of cigarette packs. Just like alcohol, they have warnings on the side. So the same thing should be put on our foods. The same company that supplies the GMOs that are shot into our foods are the same people who started the chemical warfare in Vietnam. Same chemical company. So it's really important that you know what's in your food. You think that, I hear people talking about, well, it's hormones, that's why I'm fat, that's why the kids are so big. It has nothing to do with it. Actually, they've stopped the hormones, shooting the different cows and pigs and chickens with the hormones because it was not advantageous to anyone. The chickens and the cows were growing too fast and getting too big, and so it was not advantageous. So instead you're getting generic modified organisms. And just like if you got generic drugs, if you have prescription drugs, generic is not good. Generic is something that is processed and it has chemicals and it is not good for you. And it's a shame because GMOs are only in food that we're eating that's not good for us. And the shame of it is it's in fast foods, it's in your foods that you buy at your supermarket. If you're not buying organic or living vegetation as vegetarians, then your food most likely has GMO in it. And what the sad part is, most families can't afford anything that is good for you. Most organic food is so expensive that if you're living with a family, with children, then you can't afford it because it's just cheaper for you to buy the GMO food. The GMO is not on any of your packaging. You need to write your congressman, write the food corporations. You should be able to decide whether or not you want GMO. And like with medication, the same thing. You don't really want generic, but you have to many times because you can't afford it. Your medication is too expensive. So they're actually, you're taking generic drugs, you're eating generic food, and you have a disease or something already, and you're taking these drugs, and it's not helping you at all. It's all just a part of everybody's in bed together. The pharmacist, the food corporation, big companies, big corporations, they're all in bed together. If you can afford it, if you can make a way in your budget, get organic food. Get your organic eggs, your organic meats, get your organic cheese, get your everything organic if you can. If you're near farmers markets, go to your farmers markets and see how they're growing their food and get those types of foods for you. That's generic modified organisms. Creates cancer, heart attacks, diabetes, all the different problems that we have in our lives. Chemicals are in the food, and don't blame it on hormones. GMOs. Look it up, read about it, and when you know better, you do better. Jackie Collins passed away. She was one of the most famous authors in Hollywood and around the world. She sold over 500 million copies. She was one of the first people to actually tell what's going on in Hollywood back in the day. I'm talking about the juicy stuff, like with Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield and the Johnny Carson's wives, all these rich women, but she didn't tell who they really were. But she wrote fictional books about real life in Hollywood. She passed away at 77 years old. She'll be missed, and she never kissed and told. She grew up in England. Her parents made her leave England when she was 15. Her sister Joan Collins was already a big-time movie star here in the United States. If you remember her sister Joan, she played in Dynasty as Alexa. And when Jackie Collins' parents sent her to America to live with her sister Joan, Jackie was only 15 years old. Her sister was 9 years older, and Joan Collins, true to her diva-like ways, threw her keys at her sister and said, "I'm on my way to Europe to make a movie. You have my apartment and a car. Learn how to drive." And that's how it all started. Also, I wanted to talk about there are some other things that are going on in New York. There were a lot of killings over the weekend. People in Brooklyn were shot and killed. People over in the Bronx were shot and killed, and in Manhattan. A lot of gun violence going on. You know, I believe in having a gun. I grew up with guns in my household growing up, but I believe they should be in the hands of the right people and used for the right thing. Periscope is an app that I am actually in love with. If you guys know about Snapchat, then it's like a better version of Snapchat, where you can record for a long period of time, and while you're recording, people can come on and watch you, and they can actually talk with you through texting. So if you have a smartphone, I know it's definitely with the iPhones. I just got on Periscope, and if you're on my Twitter, and I have 1,018 followers so far, if you're on my Twitter, whenever I Periscope, you'll automatically get a notification that I'm on, and I can just talk about whatever I want, show you whatever I want. It's so much fun. Today, TICHINA Arnold, she played Pam on Martin. You know her best. She is a big Periscoper. She's the one who actually hit me to it, and I actually love it. Today I went on her Periscope where she was showing her daughter, who was doing exercising and working out for a part that her daughter wants to play in, plus her daughter is a dancer at school, and she gave me a shout out on her Periscope saying, "Hi, Amber," and her daughter and her daughter's friend said, "Hi, Amber." So that was really a big deal for me, because TICHINA Arnold was big star. I mean, Pam, the mother on Everybody Hates Chris. She played the lady who, the first black woman who actually was put to death with the death penalty. I can't remember her name. And she now is in Survivor's Remorse, which comes on every Saturday night on Stars, which is really, really good. Pam keeps a job because she's a wonderful young lady. She's real. She's down with civil rights and everything. I've been following her for a long time on Twitter. She follows me, and now she's my BFF in my head, and she actually shouts me out on her Periscope. So you guys got to get hip to Periscope. Periscope is really great. It's fun, and you can advertise yourself on there. You can do whatever you want. You can walk your dog and just say, "Here I am" on Periscope. And you have people who can actually just all correspond with you and know that you're on there watching them. And I love it. All right, you guys, have a happy Sunday. Be safe, be peaceful, and I'll talk to you again soon. And don't forget, when you know better, you do better.